be against me. Tell me who's standing near me. Tell me who wants to tell me. If my God is for me, tell me who'd be against me. Tell me who's standing near me. Tell me who'd wanna dare me. Yeah.
This is the story of my life, oh. Many men try to bring me down, oh. But if my God says this and His word says this, then it's already done, oh. They can come, I don't care, though. My God has got me in loco. And He's showing, He's showing, He's showing, He's showing, He's showing me that it's a world, I shut down me, Bambi. If Tony, fool me, God, I count it. It's a world, I shut down me, Bambi. If Tony, fool me, God, I count it. Dear Uncle Chris, Uncle Keith, Uncle Ricky, before the Lord get me, I gotta say something quickly. I grew up iffy since my daddy wasn't with me, shoe. I wasn't picky, I'll take any male figure. You stepped in at the right time. It's cause of you that I write rhymes. You probably never knew that. I love the way you used to come through. Teach me to do the things that men do. And true, you showed me stuff I probably shouldn't have seen. But you had barely made it out your teens. Took me under your wings. I wanted hats, I wanted clothes just like you. Lean to the side when I roll just like you. And care people didn't like you. You wanna bang, I wanna bang too. Skyline, Pyru. You would've died, I would've died too. You went to prison, got sick, lost your pops, yeah I cried too. You never know who's right behind you. I got a little son now, and he do whatever I do. But it's something deep inside you that tell you it's gotta be more than doing what other guys do. They had nobody there to guide you, but I followed your footsteps, and this shouldn't surprise you. You realize you, yeah, I just wanna be like you.
I just wanna be like you. Walk like, talk like, even think like you. The only one I could look to. You're teaching me to be just like you. Well, I just gotta be like, I just gotta be like
you. Now all I see is money, cars, jewels, stars, womanizers, tough guys, guns, knives, and scars. Drug pushers, thug strippers, fast girls, fast life. Everything I wanted and everything I could ask life. If this ain't living, then they lied well. Guess I married an old wives' tale. Wow, fail. I don't know another way to go. This is the only way they ever showed. I got this emptiness inside that got me fighting for approval, cause I missed out on my daddy saying way to go. Ain't get that verbal affirmation. I know how to treat a woman, know how to fix an engine to keep the car running. So now I'm looking at the media and I'm following what they feed me. Rap stars, trap stars, whoever wants to lead me. Even though they lie, they still tell me that they love me. They say I'm good at bad things, at least they proud of me.
I just wanna be like you. Walk like, talk like, even think like you. The only one I could look to. You're teaching me to be just like you. Well, I just gotta be like, I just gotta be like you.
I was created by God, but I ain't wanna be like him, I wanna be him. The Jack Sparrow of my Caribbean. I remember the first created being, and how he shifted the blame on his dame for fruit he shouldn't have eaten. And now look at us all out of Eden, wearing designer fig leaves by Louis Vuitton, make believing. But God sees through my foolish pride, and how I'm weak like Adam, another victim of Lucifer's lies. But then in steps Jesus. All men were created to lead, but we needed somebody to lead us, more than a teacher, but somebody to buy us back from the darkness. You can say he redeemed us, taught us that real leaders follow God, finish the work cause we on our job. Taught us not to rhyme, but give life, love a wife like he loved the church, without singing how many hearts we can break first. I wanna be like you in every way, so if I gotta die every day, unworthy sacrifice, but the least I can do is give the most to me, cause being just like you is what I'm supposed to be. They say you came for the lame, I'm the lamest. I made a mess, but you say you'll erase it, I'll take it. They say you came for the lame, I'm the lamest. I broke my life, but you say you'll replace it, I'll take it.
Some Duke on the vibe.
This year, blessing, money, testimony. Go to follow you they go.
This year, good news, giant plenty balling. Go to follow you they go.
Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life.
Everything you've been wanting, manifesting for your life.
Even before you call, you don't answer prayer. My papa is too shy.
This life I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. Allow me to flex. This life I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. Allow me to flex. Many years me I done the good. Rock the mic, me I rock the show. Many hit songs when I go. Still them go say me and now they try. I see them complain of Kanye West. And speaking mind the people best. Everybody wants to be the best, but the world can do without the best. Akwaki can sing it Jehovah. Nobody did that Jehovah. I say happen to my car. Declare them for I. Anything cool up and I. Do them like Fimo. This life I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. Allow me to flex. This life I can't keep myself.
Hello, this is everyone. We are glad that right now we have reached the Kenya Ports Authority in Mombasa. This is the biggest port in East Africa. This is our very first day. So we are going to have a study as we are going to be moving around. This is the geography of our life. We have the Namiryango Sss Secondary School and we are starting off officially today. Thank you.
I got my mind on come again.
Emo blaze, yo. Nobody go say, shame on me cause I follow your way. Oh, no. Oh, I don't lie, can never lie. As you see me so I'm settled for life. He's too faithful to fail me. Anywhere you send me to, I go. If you tell me make
than posting. Oh,
My name is Mukala Zikwa, the president of the Geography and Wildlife Club, and right now we are here at Kenya Ports Authority, which deals in shipping. So let us proceed with our study.
Kenya Ports Authority is now the management that actually has the mandate to equip and maintain the port of Mombasa. This is what we either call the port of Mombasa, or if you hear somebody else say Kilindini Harbour, it's the same. Kilindini is just Swahili meaning the port. Okay? So where we are right now is the port of Mombasa, but it is Kenya Ports Authority that's what manages the port. And how did this happen? Many years back, when we were having the slave trade happening and everything, we used to have a port. At the moment it's still functional, but we still have it bringing in spice trade from Zanzibar and all that. It's called the old port, so I don't know whether your teachers are able to take you there. Maybe not. It's called if you have a chance, you can go and see. But they still have the wooden dowels coming through. So that was the first port that was ever done. And this was because of the trade of slaves and spices and everything. So we have the old port there. But then, when those colonialists were looking into Africa, and they were looking into, and especially because they saw there was a lot of minerals in countries like were landlocked, like Uganda, for instance, like Tanzania. Okay, Tanzania does have, but then they were looking at it in terms of how can they have a big harbor where they'll be able to do all that trade and open the hinterland. So what they decided to do is to have the port of Mombasa. They looked at the Kenya master plan and saw that this was a natural harbor, meaning it had a very nice deep corridor that you see here, the channel. It's naturally deep, and that is one of the things you have to look for when you want to have a harbor, that the waters have to be deep enough for you to be able to bring in heavy vessels. So this channel was deep enough, and then there was a lot of land. So they could actually come up and have, things like the berths where they could now, a berth is what we are seeing right here. This construction that we have done, this parking area, in maritime we don't call it parking, we either call it berthing or docking. So when I talk about a berth or a dock, it's the same thing I'm talking about, all right? So they decided to come up with a place that would actually have so many berths, and this was a potential area for expansion. So initially when they came, the first berth that they ever constructed, which is berth number 1, is right at the end there. Are you seeing after the tower, there's a building there that has a bit of white? That was berth number 1, where there's the small orange vessels there. You're seeing some small orange vessels. So that berth dates back 100 years ago. But that was the first berth. When they decided now, they needed to bring heavier things, like when they're constructing the rail. There was that rail in Uganda, Kenya was having that. So that is where they decided to have their first berth. And those many years back, when now the colonialists went away, East Africa, Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya had one big authority that they used to call the East African Rail and Harbour. Okay? So we had that intermarriage between Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. Your good president, okay, that time, he decided he wanted to be the president of that board. Now he said no, because Uganda is the one that is bringing in a lot of resources, which is true to date. Uganda in Africa is the one that imports and exports over 80% of Africa. So when Museveni coughs, all of us stand up. So it is very true. When he just shakes like this, we are also shaken because he does the biggest business here. But he wanted to become the president of that particular board. So we looked at it and said, this gentleman is the one who is bringing in a lot of head. Doesn't even have the water in his country. He doesn't have the port in his country. Yet he's the one who wants to rule. And no, we decided. So when there was that disagreement, everyone parted ways. And it was in 1978, under the Act of Parliament, that KPA came into being, was established then. Because now we needed to have an authority that would manage the port of Mombasa. So that is how it came. Power. 80% of trade happens with the sea because it can carry very big cargo. It can carry masses and masses of cargo. So for us, what did we have to do? We got to discover that in ports, like in other countries worldwide, some of their ports only handle one commodity. So they only have maybe a terminal that is only for containers. In another port, they have a terminal that is strictly for oil. In another one, they have one that is just for cruise. So they have a cruise terminal in a different port. They have a container terminal in a different port. They have a what we call conventional cargo terminal. Conventional cargo is any cargo that does not have containers. Say cars, vehicles, some of them come in containers, but when they don't come in containers, then it's conventional cargo. We have the rails, what they are offloading from this particular vessel. You see, there's also like some steel, some kind of steel that they are offloading. This is also conventional cargo. And then we have oil that has to be put in, it has to be transported via pipes. So what did we decide to do as Kenya Port Authority? Why don't we have a fast berth that is going to be conventional cargo? So we constructed a conventional cargo. All the time you see here is conventional cargo. And many years back, this is the only way that cargo used to arrive into Africa. Conventional. It never used to come in containers. Container is something that came after years and people sat down and they thought, okay, because of the economies of scale, let us come up with something that we are able to manage to transport goods without having lots of damage to the cargo. But before that is what used to happen, conventional cargo. After conventional cargo, we also decided, actually in Africa, or rather Kenya, we can have an oil terminal. So after building the conventional cargo terminal, this is our first terminal that you see, the one with the tank that has the price of love. This is our first oil terminal. And the reason why this oil terminal is there and why they allowed it, for you to construct a harbor to be operational, and if you wanted to have an oil terminal in the same harbor, then one of the rules and regulations is at the final point of the port. So those many years back when we just had the conventional cargo coming through, this was where the port used to, the final point of the port. That is where we constructed an oil terminal here. But as we were expanding, and the world was expanding, and then containerization came about, now we needed to have a place where we can be able to handle what? Containers, because that was the business, was growing in terms of containers. So we had to open and reclaim some land to have our container terminal built on this end. Now for our container terminal, what you'll realize, KPA has equipped it with cranes. You're seeing those blue structures, eh? Those are what we call cranes, and those particular cranes are the modern cranes at the moment. They are the ones that can do what we call loading and offloading at the same time, simultaneously. So as it is loading, it is also offloading. And one of those cranes that we have there costs about 1.2 billion Kenya shillings. How much would that be in Uganda? A lot, eh? Just a lot. So one of them. And Kenya Port Authority has made sure that we have equipped enough so that when vessels come, we do not have to have them waste a lot of time in Kenya, because for any port to be ranked as top class, it has to have a very short turnaround. Turnaround means by the time the vessel comes there, by the time it is docked, by the time all cargo on it is loaded and offloaded, by the time it leaves, it has to be within a certain period of days, and here we have achieved to have it within 3 days. So that's why we are ranking. So in other top countries, why they keep ranking higher is because they have shorter turnaround times. So in KP at the moment, we are having 3 days, in which your container will come here. All cargo will either be loaded and offloaded, and we'll have you turning back to either go to other ports or to wherever. All right? So that is what we do. So I've explained. When we had the container terminal, like I said, one of the rules was that you must have your oil terminal at the very end of the harbor. We had to move and construct a bigger oil terminal, which we now call the Kipevu Oil Terminal. It is right at the end of where the container terminal is. Okay, so we re-expanded and built more berths. We decided, okay, this was now becoming dangerous because they say when you have it here, it works, yes, but then they don't really want it here because they say the dangers and everything for safety regulations. We had to move it all the way to the end of the second container terminal. We have still been reclaiming land and expanding the port, and we're still having bigger vessels coming through. So now our challenge was, every time we keep expanding our port, how then are we going to be moving this oil terminal every time? So we brought in people to think, and they decided. They looked at the whole master plan. The Chinese and Japanese came through. They looked at the master plan and said, the only way we're going to solve this problem is by having an island oil terminal right in the middle of the ocean. They decided to construct a what? An oil terminal. Where you're seeing that vessel docked. Are you seeing the blue and red vessel? That is an island terminal right there in the middle. That terminal is right in the deepest part of the ocean. It was rather built there. So, one of the things we had to make sure is that we are not interfering with the depth or the draft of the water, because we need vessels to still be using this route. And like I said, for your port to be a worldwide established port, it has to have what we're calling draft, and draft is the same as depth. The Chinese and Japanese have done this in their countries because most of their countries, unfortunately or fortunately, they don't have sheltered ports. Sheltered ports is like what I explained, water and land. They go right in the middle of, they only have land maybe on one end, and they need to have berths. So they have to construct ports, rather berths right in the middle of the sea. So they know how to do that construction. So when they came, they went right there, made sure that they were not disturbing the draft that we have to maintain the draft. They decided then that the pipes would go all the way under. So they went all the way to the base of the ocean and then went deeper. They say they went about 24 meters of feet down to bury the very big pipes that they call the subsea. So the subsea pipes have gone all the way under. They have not disrupted the seabed, like I said. They've gone all the way under, and now they have connected to some pipes and tanks that are out there. So they have told us, because we were worried, this is something that is buried under the sea. Who's going to go there and confirm whether there's any leakage or what? But they have told us for the next 100+ years, as long as nothing disrupts, because when they did that, they brought back the sand again, that there is no leakage that will happen there. And that very tall white building, which is also on the island, is where they used to monitor. They have very many monitors in there. So in case of anything, they're just able to see it from there, from the machines that are there. So that is where we have now our oil terminal. And that oil terminal has 4 berths constructed on it, 4 berths. But at the moment, we are only using 3. Why? Because Kenya Ports Authority, we generate our own money, we do our own expansions, we equip before business, we want to be ahead of time. We decided to construct that. So we have, now you can imagine, we have 1 here, we have another 1 there, and we have 2. So at any one point, if we have 6 oil tankers or more, we are able to actually berth and work on them. But we have stakeholders now, because Kenya Ports Authority, our mandate is only to ensure that we handle cargo. Our stakeholders who are now dealing with the petroleum, which is Kenya Pipeline One, do not have enough storage tanks for all the oil that we might pump in one day, say if all these berths were full, okay? They do not have that. They do not have that storage. That is why we can only allow for oil tankers to come few at a go, because of the fact that we do not have enough storage for the oil that comes through. So then what happens? Okay, so that is, I've told you about the 3 terminals, the oil terminal, the container terminal, and the conventional cargo terminal. We had 1 that was still left. And because this is the gateway for East and Central Africa, we were having vessels coming through that now carry passengers, the cruise vessels that were coming through. We have make sure that we are able to handle any other vessel that is bringing in any other business, except we do not have one terminal that could only specifically handle cruise. Because you can see all these places, there are cranes on this side, there are buildings. So we had to find out, what are we going to do when we are having these cruise vessels? Because it's not that they never used to come, they used to come. But the challenge was, the only bus that could handle cruise vessels and the only multi-purpose bus in KPA is bus number 1. Because bus number 1, like I said, being the first that was constructed, had to make sure at that particular point it could handle all sorts of vessels that were coming through. So if it is conventional cargo, it will go there. If it is a cruise vessel, it will go there. If it is a vessel that is bringing in cars, which is called a Roro vessel, oh, you're not lucky. One was here in the morning, but I think it sailed off. You would have seen a Roro vessel. A Roro vessel, we call it Roro because of the fact that everything that goes onto that vessel or comes off is rolling. It has wheels. So any vessel that can roll on and roll off, any type of cargo that can roll on and roll off, is put into that Roro vessel. And most of the time it will bring in car units, okay? Because cars can drive off and you can roll them back in. So the Minister then of Tourism decided, why don't we have a specialized berth and terminal that can now handle passengers, so that in any one point when we are having other vessels coming through, we do not have to make the passenger one wait, because you know you have to weigh now between are we bringing in the business or are we bringing in the tourists? And one unfortunate thing about tourists is when they're coming in that vessel, their cruise vessel, not all of them are coming into Kenya. So if you do not have the correct papers or the visas to get into Kenya, you are not allowed to leave the vessel. So you would stay in there for as long as the vessel is docked in Mombasa, until the day that is sailing off, you sail away. But then now you can imagine, we are having a cruise vessel that has brought in approximately 3,000 or 300 or whatever passengers. And only 50 of them are coming into Kenya. So only 50 of them will leave. What about the rest? They still have money, right? Because they're on voyage, they're there to spend money. And we were losing out a lot because these people are not allowed to leave the vessel. So the minister then decided, why don't we construct a specialized cruise terminal? That building that you're seeing there, the one I was telling you, now has been constructed to be able to host tourists when they come into Kenya. They will not leave the gates of KPA because they're not allowed to, they don't have the proper papers, but at least they're allowed to go in there, have a rest. You know, when you've been in this water for so long, sometimes you just want to step on land and breathe in the fresh air. So they are allowed, once they're there, they're allowed to go, the different rooms, they're allowed to book in, just like an airport. They're allowed to stay there. They can buy our Kenyan coffee, our Kenyan tea, and of anything. Now, at least they spend the money there. So that is our cruise terminal. So we are very lucky that the port of Mombasa has all 4 necessary terminals at one stop. And here, because of the fact that we operate and we deal a lot, like I've told you, with Uganda, we also have authorities that are here, because for any cargo to leave or get into a country, the country has to benefit from revenue, right? So we do have your Uganda Revenue Authority right here, because some cargo is for transit. So when cargo that comes in that is for transit, it will not be opened at the port of Mombasa. It will straight from the ship onto rail or onto truck. It will not be opened until it gets to the border of Kampala or wherever it is coming in through, okay? So that your authorities are able to collect revenue for your countries from there.
If I ever took a loss, I learned a lesson. I won't ever think I'm better than the next man. I've been down before to come up, I ain't stressing. Baby, I'm too busy counting all these blessings.
Count it up, count it up, count it up. Line them up, line them up, line them up. Swear the sun shining on me, get my heart up, no matter that trouble surrounding us. They don't see that it's a lot of us. Everybody move anonymous. Won't take that credit, I know where we get it. Them blessings be coming from God above. I was doing all kind of bad, what a quiet ass. Tell them I need a verse. Hit the pew and tell God he's first. Hit the studio, the body of verse. I remember pushing mama little white Hyundai with no gas money. I just bought a car, cash money. I ain't even trying to brag on it. I just tell it how it really is. I ain't tripping, ain't feeling this. I ain't saying I deserve nothing, I'm just trying to talk about the benefits. I've been punching in the clock, trying to keep the kitchen stocked. Man, it's a blessing cause we ain't never had a lot, but all we need is all we got. Whew.
If I ever took a loss, I learned a lesson. I won't ever think I'm better than the next man. I've been down before to come up, I ain't stressing. Baby, I'm too busy counting all these blessings. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Blessings. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Count it up, count it up, count it up. I put my mama in the grips and stop stressing. I put my girl in a brand new diamond necklace. She said she need more of my love and affection. Cause lately I've been working harder than ever. She said,
at Fort Jesus in Mombasa. We from Namiryango Sss, we've come here to see what really happened. This Fort Jesus was built by the Portuguese during their administration. You know, they administered the East African coast. So during their administration at the coast, they built Fort Jesus just to strengthen their administration or their security, since most of the coastal people were opposed to their rule. So they had to establish Fort Jesus from where they could fight the coastal people who were resisting their administration at the coast. So we've come to see, because now we have been teaching these students in class and they have never seen this before. So we have brought them here to really see what happened during the Portuguese rule far back in between 1510 up to 1693. So they built this for security purpose, to fight all the coastal towns, because especially here at Mombasa, the people of Mombasa were so much opposed to the Portuguese administration. So they had to establish this. It was really like for security purpose. But however, towards the end of their rule, it was destroyed by the Oman Arabs who came to fight the Portuguese, and they replaced the Portuguese administration. So it lasted during their rule up to when the Oman Arabs destroyed it. These are the weapons that were used by the Portuguese during their administration when they were fighting the resistance that was put up by the coastal people. As you see, they were very strong weapons. That's why they managed to defeat the Portuguese, the coastal people, because much as the coastal people resisted, but finally they were defeated. And one of the reasons why they were defeated was because of the strong weapons that the Portuguese had. So it was a very big building, and as I said earlier, it was basically built to strengthen their security from especially from the resistance that were organized by the coastal people. So that is the building, but later on, towards the end of their rule, it was destroyed, especially after the coming of the Oman Arabs. It was destroyed, and that marked the end of the Portuguese rule at the East African coast.
For Jesus was built in the shape of a human being. These are the arms and these are the legs. Can you see that? Yes. Yeah, and the Portuguese are the ones who built this fort between 1593 and 1596 AD. And they built this as a military base. Yeah, that's why you can see the cannons over here. Can you see cannons? The black things. Also similar to this one on this side. Yeah, and now the main intention of building for Jesus was to control the Indian Ocean trade route. Now, along now this Indian Ocean trade route is Mombasa. And Mombasa, we had the Mombasa Old Port. Yeah, it was known as the Port of Mombasa before. Now, the Mombasa Old Port, before there was barter trade that used to go on between people from different parts of the world. From the mainland of Kenya, what used to be brought to the coast was ivory, slaves, skins and hides, and also animal products from the mainland. Now from the rest of the world, what was coming is known as Asian spices. And Asian spices are the ones that dominated now the Indian Ocean trade, right? Now, and the other kinds of products were like porcelain plates. This place that when you let it fall, it will break, right? Okay, they are known as the porcelain plates. Now, the Portuguese built this in the shape of a human being. Now, this human being was to resemble Jesus Christ. Now, over here we have now these projections. They are the same projections over there. Now, that is the crown of thorns that was put on Jesus there. I've told you they built it in the resemblance of Jesus Christ. Originally, this was painted red. You can see the fading color on the walls is red to symbolize the blood of Jesus. And also, if you look at the design, the arms are stretched out as if this human being is on a cross, crucified. Yeah. Now, for Jesus has been under different occupants during different times. The first occupants are the Portuguese who built it, and they stayed here from 1593 up to 1698, when they were taken or overthrown by the Oman Arabs. Now, the Portuguese, I've told you, they use this as a military base. And while they were here during their time, the Oman Arabs made some attempts to take for Jesus from the Portuguese several times. But these attempts failed. Like in 1631, they managed to take over the fort. They entered and killed the captain. Now, the captain's house is that one over there. Here on the map it is here. Yeah, and down there I will show you the passage of the arches. So in 1631, they entered through the passage of the arches, stabbed the captain, and took over for a period of about 2 months. but later the Portuguese from Zanzibar occupied it. Yeah. And also they made several attempts later, but this time attempts always failed. Now in 1696, now when the Oman Arab came, I've told you they entered, or they took control for Jesus in 1698. So in 1696, they came and they stayed outside the fort. They orchestrated a siege. A siege is to encircle your enemy. So they surrounded the fort from the outside for a period of 2 years and 9 months. Now the reason why they decided to encircle them is because they wanted them to use their food supplies until they are depleted. So this strategy or military strategy of fighting your enemy through a siege is making sure that your enemy lacks food supplies. Because now when your enemy lacks food supplies, it's either the enemy decides to die where the enemy is hiding, or he or she where he is hiding, or the enemy gets out to fight you, to face you. Yeah, that's the only thing they can do. Yeah, die or fight you. So for the Portuguese inside here during the time of the siege, they never went out. So within these 2 years, they ran out of food supplies even before the 2 years ended over. Yeah, and they started even feeding on rats. Yeah. Now these rats also caused an infection on these Portuguese soldiers who were here, because on the skins of these rats they were feeding on, they were lices, parasites. Now these lices, when they bite a human being, you get infected with a disease known as black plague. So most of the Portuguese soldiers who were here during the time of the siege died due to black plague and starvation. Now in 1698, the Oman Arabs successfully took over the fort, and they used this also as a military base, but they did one extra thing. They conducted their slave trade activities here in the fort. I'll show you the cave where they used to incarcerate the slaves. And now in 1895, the Oman Arabs peacefully, without any fighting, handed over for Jesus to the British. And the British, when they took over, they used this as a prison, where they would lock the freedom fighters and the petty offenders are the ones who were jailed in this prison that was run by the British. And I've told you they came in 1895. That's when the British took over. And in 1956, the prison overcrowded, and the prisoners who were here were moved to Shimo La Tewa prison. It's a famous prison in the Kenyan coastline, and it's one of the first prisons that has been there. So the prisoners were moved to Shimo La Tewa. Yeah. And in 1958, they made this a national monument, constructed the museum gallery. That building you see over there, it was constructed by the British. And also, in 1960, they opened the museum gallery for public use. And in 1963, after the Kenyan government got into power, now after we gained independence, now it was managed by the Kenyan government. Like right now, it is still managed by the Kenyan government and our parastatal known as the National Museums of Kenya, right? Yeah, it is a management right over here. Now, before the building of this fort I'm telling you about, the person who identified where the fort was to be built is known as Vasco da Gama. Vasco da Gama came to Mombasa now earlier, 100 years before, in 1498, while he was identifying what is known as the sea route to India. So Vasco da Gama is the one who established what is known or identified the sea route to India. Now, the sea route to India was identified by 3 people, yeah? The first one was Henry the Navigator. He sailed from Portugal up to Canary Islands that are in the West Africa and died there in 1460 AD. Then Bartholomew Diaz took over and sailed up to the Cape of Good Hope. He reached the Cape of Good Hope in 1488 AD. That's in South Africa. Then from there, Vasco da Gama took over, and Vasco da Gama is the one who successfully made it to India. And while he was going to India, he came to the coast of Mombasa. Now, when he came here to Mombasa, he was rejected. The reason why he was rejected, it is because now the Oman Arabs had come earlier in the Kenyan coast before the Portuguese, and they had intermarried with the local people, coastal people here, the local Bantus, to produce the people who are known as the Swahili people. Yeah, and even the Swahili is the language comes from the local Bantus together with the Arab language, which is a mixture of the two. Yeah. So, and also these Arabs had influenced the local community with the Islamic religion. So the people of Old Town Mombasa were Muslims. And Vasco da Gama, when he came with an intention to spread Christianity. That's the reason why they rejected him, because they needed nobody who was trying to spread Christianity in Mombasa. Even Mombasa, even up to date, yeah, most of the population, their religion is Islam. Yeah. Now, Vasco da Gama, what he spotted here was a large coral reef. 70% of the walls of Jesus are not built, they are carved out of a coral reef. A coral reef is a kind of a rock that develops in the sea. Now, it's due to the sedimentation of creatures that have died in the sea. Yeah. Now, the sedimentation is the one that makes it a rock. Yeah. Now, so 70% is fully coral reef, and 30% is the one which was built. I'll tell you the materials which are used in building, right? Okay. So we shall start from here. Yeah. Passage of the arches, yeah. A passage is like kinda like of a route, in that entrance, and they would store them inside here, which is the ammunition store or the armory. Yeah, is where they used to store the ammo. Now, when the Oman Arabs took over, they never used this cave similarly as the Portuguese did. They used this cave to incarcerate the slaves. They used to do something known as mental disorientation. When you are locked for long hours in darkness, you start losing track of time, and also it's like you are confused in your mind. Physically you are fit, but your mind is confused. And the reason why they used to mentally disorient the slaves, it is because they never wanted them to have the ideas of escaping while transporting them to Zanzibar, which was the headquarters of slave trade here in East Africa. Yeah? Okay. Now, I've told you 70% of the walls of Jesus is coral. All this is coral, yeah? Your eyes have not seen light. You are confused. Even when you wake up, you don't know exactly if you are in the bed. After some few seconds, it's when you notice that you are on a mattress sleeping on your bed. So you can enter into the ammunition store and have a look. You can enter.
Spyro.
Now only me one life. See as we day like this sunrise. I will never leave your side. I will never, never. I dedicate my time to you, my guy. Even if the road be rough, I don't mind. 'Cause you be my G for life.
Hello, Geography and Wildlife Club, Namiryango Senior Secondary School. We send you greetings. Right about now, we are on our second day in KILIFI, Mombasa, for the Geography and Wildlife Tour in Kenya, and we are heading to Malindi to look at the floating islands. Right away from Mombasa, we shall have a look at the Vasco da Gama Rock Pillar, the Rock Gardens in Malindi Marine National Park. We love you. Yeah, right about now we have reached the Marine National Park. It's under Kenya Wildlife Authority, and we are hoping to have a lot of fun from here. Peace.
It's a great day. We have had an amazing adventure and expect a lot of fun here, freestyle, and just come enjoy it.
Actually, quite a lot. As usual, fun is an immediate factor to expect. A lot of swimming, and we'll see where the day takes us.
My name is Abun Gloria. We are actually here in Malindi, one of the beaches in Malindi, and I'm expecting a lot, like having fun while we're at the beach here. Yeah, and then also maybe try and get a few friends here and there. Yeah, thank you so much.
Summer is on now. Me have my shots now. Me and my girlfriend apart. Whoa, start the car. I'm with the driver. We going out. Oh yeah, yeah. Whoa, la. And them a girl that they all bad. Let's go to the beach. Make we have a party on the sun, girl. Take off your rock, me want to see you now your tongue. But suppose, make me use my touch, snap one. Now pretty belly skin, they ready to do the pan. You a genuine brown in whole of summertime. Umbrella bleacher. Cause I saw the summertime. So the girl them say them ready for the summer marathon. So me have to sing another summer song. So me ask you, if you're ready for the summer, let's go. Shout it out and let me know. Girl, everywhere we go. God, I go home, we know. If you're ready for the summer, let's go. Shout it out and let me know. Girl, everywhere we go. God, I go home, we know. Pass me the white over, prove your swag, make me pop it. Pink cup ready, little ice in a bucket. Pass it ready, rum man, I make fun but on it. Whether 80 or igloo, we a chug it.
I think you're from the that is where we are going now. I need to go up the place.
If you're ready for the summer, let's go. Shout it out and let me know. Y'all lady, where we go. God, we y'all from all down to fly down for the summer. Her skin soft like cocoa butter. She cock up on the R6 with the big papa. Me have a girl from Buff Beer, but this I wanna buffer. Me have a pound of high grade down a west, me a go for. Now suffer. This year me money get no for. Me just buy me yacht, serious, me and a bluffer. Them sing summer song, but this I wanna tougher. Me ask them, if you're ready for the summer, let's go. Shout it out and let me know. Y'all everywhere we go. God, I go home, we know. If you're ready for the summer, let's go. Shout it out and let me know. Y'all everywhere we go. God, I go home, we know. If you're ready for the summer, let's go. Shout it out and let me know. Y'all everywhere we go. God, I go home, we know. If you're ready for the summer, let's go. Shout it out and let me know. Y'all everywhere we go. God, I go home, we know.
This life I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. Allow me to flex. This life I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. Allow me to flex. Many years me I done the good. Rock the mic, me I rock the show. Many hit songs. I say happen on my car. He glad them for I. He they think cool of a die. He do them like film. This life I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. Allow me to flex. This life I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. I can't keep myself. Allow me to flex, so yo coco.
Vasco da Gama's rock was put as a mark to the goal that is where he landed when he came to Vasco to me.
Good morning, this is Mwema Nicholas, Senior 4. I'm here to give you a daily update on what's going on. Today is the 24th of August, our 5th day on this trip. We are setting off from Prestige Apartments, which have been our recent place of residence. And now we are proceeding to Hala Park, still Mombasa. From there we shall go on to Nairobi, as it is called, the Green City Under the Sky.
Motindo ya pasi banyokolio yaka pembeni na salise wayo ya motema tovandi bomwana tomesendinga na yo dunia tobandi bomwana kimoninga na miso ya mama esalima bena yo kaokomi na pasi na zate.
Hi guys, I must say we are right now in Nairobi, and I must truly say that the place here in Nairobi is totally cool, exciting. Everything about Nairobi is just chill. So you guys, come and visit this place. This place is so interesting. Nairobi is really a place to be. Yeah.
Nairobi is a good city, and I advise many people to come and visit the city, because it is very interesting with many features. For example, hotels, malls, museums, game parks, and very many others.
Thank you very much. This is the geographer on the road right now. Namiryango Sss secondary school. Right about now, we are in Nairobi City. We are from the biggest mall in Africa. That is the Two Rivers Mall. Nairobi, some shopping, and everything is good and fine. Nature is our pride.
It's a game park located in Mombasa, Nairobi, and it is one of the biggest game parks in the world. And it is well known because of its large herds of elephants and lions. And it is located on an area of 22,000 kilometers squared.
It's a very good morning here in Kenya, Nairobi, and I would like to remind you of Fort Jesus, because we have been there for the past one day, and Fort Jesus has been quite a thunderous place we have seen where these people used to come in from and how it was founded and why. Fort Jesus has been there for quite a long period of time, and it was constructed in the format of Jesus Christ on the cross, as we saw. As in, if you try and research about the map of that place, they will show you the head, the arms, then the body down, and the legs. And if you realize that before Jesus, the perimeter walls, all of them have this structure of a crown, as in the crown that would be put on Jesus' head, or that one that had thorns. All of them are usually constructed with.
In this trip, we managed to reach Fort Jesus, where the Portuguese used it to base while launching their attacks on the coastal people who used it to resist against their rule. They came with some superior weapons that they used, and they built Fort Jesus. It was like an armory where they used it to keep their weapons in their struggle against the coastal people who had resisted their rule.
One of the areas that we have been through, actually the experience we have had so much, is that of the largest national park in Kenya, which is Tsavo. It is 2,200 kilometers squared. So we had to move and cut across Tsavo for a very long time. Tsavo is an area that is known in history during the construction of the railway. The people that used to construct the railway experienced the biggest challenge of man-eaters, because it is a national park that is made up of wild animals, lions, such as lions, leopards, etc. So it is known as an area that used to have a lot of man-eaters, which were the lions, during the construction of the Uganda railway. So we saw the semi-desert type of vegetation in Tsavo, because it is under semi-desert climate characterized by bare patches, brown grasses, thorny bushes, thorny trees, etc.
Tsavo National Game Park is the biggest game park in East Africa, and it is located in Kenya, in MOMBASA. Tsavo is located on a land area of 22,000 kilometers squared. It is well known of its herds of elephants and lions. Tsavo is also well known because of the semi-desert vegetation in it.
The most exciting of it all was at the Malindi beach that had a floating island on it, and then also we happened to have a couple of other exciting things while we were that side.
I want to thank the organizing committee of the trip, headed by our patron, Mr. Chigundu Moses, and all the teachers who attended. Mr. Chigundu Moses, thank you for the first class life maintained in Mombasa, Nairobi, and every place. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
Great thanks to him, and great thanks to God and school at large for all the contribution to this trip. May God bless you all.
So I want to encourage our dear parents to at least give their children a chance to go for these study trips, because it's not all about having fun, but it's also experiencing new things and learning things that will help them during their lives. So I must encourage each a parent out there to please encourage their children whenever it comes to co-curricular activities like trips. So with that, I must say thank you so much. I still remain a good Gloria. May God bless you.
This trip has brought meaning to the saying, the sky is the limit. And then people I'd like to thank for this trip. First of all, my parents, begged for me to come here. The organizer, our patron, Mr. Chigundu Moses.
I want to first of all thank the person who organized this trip, and that is our dear patron, Master Chigundu. Thank you so much. And then also to the school administration for allowing us to come to this wonderful trip. And then I also want to thank my lovely parents for having paid for me to come on this trip, and also other parents for allowing their kids to come on this wonderful trip. And so I urge other students there and parents to make sure that at least once in a while they go for trips once they're organized, because we learn a lot from this trip. It's not all about having fun, but we also learn a lot of educative things. And so with that, I want to say thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. God bless you.
My blessings everywhere. Blessings follow me.
blessings all I need. Wow, 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 wow. Blessings come from me.
Olunakuno rakedera nga kwebazisa nawe biri bino obimanyi nyera ngutegeera nnyo yegwe yansuubiza buli kye ndikwatako kiraba omukisa era nonsuubiza buli we ndirinya nga wompaddewo kati fuluma ndi mugumu kuba wansoseeyo n'ebitimba batega tebamanyi titabaguddemu kala kolimirwoya nkolimira abigwemu y'ebitimba bakimanye ndi munye yalisolyo. I'm blessed in village and town. More blessings,
my blessings everywhere.
More blessings,
blessings follow me.
More blessings,
your blessings all I need.
NAIROBI, wanasalisa duni. NAIROBI, nakosongana duni. NAIROBI, wanasalisa duni. NAIROBI, nakosongana duni.
Dear viewers, I greet you all in the mighty name of our Lord Jesus Christ. I thank the Almighty God that has enabled the team from Namiryango Senior Secondary School under the Geography and Wildlife Club to move and cut across the Kenya borders. We started the arrangement of the trip last year, and we had prepared to visit Kisumu, Nairobi, Mombasa, and what I would like to tell you is that God has been faithful to us. We are back right now in Uganda. So we have had a number of days visiting different areas, starting from 28th up to the 26th of August today, that we are back in Uganda. Each and everything has been good, just like the way people that have been traveling with us have enjoyed different activities into this trip. And right about now, next year, our strategy is to go to Dubai for another full week. Please come and join us. We travel together, we enjoy together. Nature is our pride.